Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Manning. I'm a financial advisor here at Pinnacle Financial Partners here in Nashville. I'm back again today with another webinar in the middle of a pandemic, trying to help our individual clients and our small businesses think about how we can best help you and serve you through this very uncertain time. I'm thankful to be joined today by Julie Lewis. Julie is one of the advisors in our merchant service area, and today we're going to be talking about payment processing. Many of you who own and operate small businesses have had to do a lot of adjusting in this time of a pandemic as people have changed the way they've bought your goods and services and how you've offered your businesses to them. And so I just thought it'd be great to have Julie come by today and talk a little bit about payment processing and how that's changed through the pandemic, and what's the most safe way for you as the business owner to offer your goods and services in a very effective, efficient way for your customers. So with that, Julie, I'll bring you in. Thanks for giving us a little bit of time today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Brian, for inviting me to just share some insights on this new world that we're in regards to, especially in my world, payments. We've got some great tools. I think we are in our team and within the firm, we're seeing a shift, in regards to how payments are being accepted for many reasons. Obviously, how merchants are seeing their clients, how clients are visiting their businesses. So we've got some tools and some tips, if you will, just what we've kind of seen with some clients that we've worked with, and how we're seeing that payment transaction shift. So we want to help you, prep your business for this social distance world that we live in, and some tools on how you can shift that to online sales, delivery, curbside, contactless payments. So we'll dive right in. I think, again, we've got four major points that we want to hit. One thing that I'm seeing specifically is contactless payments. With social distancing, obviously with us being more cautious of passing pins, passing cards, etc., we're seeing a shift to contactless payments. So we're all aware of NFC, so Apple Pay, Google Wallet, cards that obviously have an NFC chip that those can be processed. So I've worked with several clients that have allowed them to be able to no longer touch the card, if you will. So contactless payments. So you all may hear tap to pay. So, it's a technology that lets people link their bank accounts, like we were talking about Apple Pay or Google Wallet, information on your smartphone, your tablet. So it's simply that, tap to pay. And so we've actually seen in some industries as far as animal hospitals who are doing curbside service, which we'll get to that as well. We've seen a shift where their clients and patrons aren't coming into the office for their appointment. So they're taking, obviously, the payments outside. So hence a contactless solution where they can take that out, and that card holder and client can then just simply pay by tapping their phone, their Apple Watch, to that device that we might provide.
So Julie, if they don't currently have offered this service, is it a big requirement? Is there a big software or hardware requirement for them to be able to do this if they've not been doing something like this previously? What all is involved in putting that in place for the business owner?
Yeah, great question, Brian. So it's really simple as regards to whether it's an existing Pinnacle client that's got merchant services with us or a new one. It's really as simple as an app on a device, obviously. So you can have an app on an iPad or an iPhone even, and that has a Bluetooth contactless reader. Or we actually have handheld wireless machines that actually have a receipt printer. So it's very simple as far as not a huge shift as far as purchasing new software. It's really just purchasing new hardware, which luckily in this industry and environment is pretty cost effective.
Yeah, that's super helpful. So let's talk about businesses where maybe if before the pandemic they were using social media and their website to just provide information. Well, now today that's going to be an outlet for them to actually sell their products and services. So can you talk a little bit about how you've helped our clients take their businesses online?
Absolutely. So, obviously that's something that we've had the capability to do, but we absolutely have seen the shift. from face-to-face payments to online, whether that be putting their goods and their services or being able to do donations online. So we have partnered with several gateway vendors, obviously, that we can set the client up to be able to simply put a buy button on their website or integrate with their shopping cart. So there's certain tools and avenues that we can do and have obviously seen that shift. And the great thing is one of our partners that we work with and that we are a reseller of has taken this into effect and is able to give some discount pricing because of COVID-19 and realizing that the shift is going obviously to more virtual payments, if you will.
Yeah, and I think some people may have been reluctant previously to do that, but the current pandemic has sort of forced their hand to do it. But I think what a lot of people will see is this becomes convenient for them and also convenient for their customers. So it's a pretty high likelihood this will maintain on the backside of this, right?
Absolutely. We've seen that as far as actually I've had some conversations with some clients who have implemented this new payment channel, if you will, and really enjoy obviously the reporting and the ease of being able to see obviously how those payments can come through and know that it's in a non-face-to-face environment. Yeah.
Yeah. So in keeping up with kind of whether that's virtually through the internet or maybe it's a business that's taking orders over the phone, they've got to be equipped to process credit card transactions over the phone. And you've got a tool for that, right?
Absolutely. So utilizing either of those two avenues that I first spoke about, whether that even be that mobile app or the gateway online tool. So obviously if they take any payments over the phone, they can simply utilize those tools by keying in that credit card information through any of those channels. Speaking of the contactless environment, it's cloud-based, obviously, so very user-friendly in regards to where the client can or the merchant can obviously call in and obviously give that credit card information over the phone or via their website channel, if that may be.
Yeah, that's helpful. So I know as we've seen the push as people have been ordered safer at home, that a big push around has been to help your small businesses, to help your local businesses by buying gift cards. And so maybe there's some reluctance to go in and purchase a physical gift card, but what we've seen a lot of our clients doing is offering the virtual gift cards. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure, absolutely. So through that mobile type platform and that cloud-based solution, there are obviously ways that you could purchase virtual gift cards. And I know obviously in the beginning of this pandemic, that was sort of one of the ways that we wanted obviously to help our clients with cash flow. Someone could purchase a gift card and they don't have to use it now, but obviously that's immediate cash flow for them for purchasing gift cards. So yes, virtual gift cards are a great option. Personally, myself, I've received one and it's been very easy to use. So definitely, Brian, that's another great tool, obviously, that our clients can use in regards to virtual.
So I think this has been really helpful information, Julie, but what else would you talk with our clients and maybe prospective clients that are watching this webinar to think about from a protection standpoint? What do they need to think about as far as managing and watching their business for themselves? We're talking about how we're trying to help our clients and help their customers come in and out and utilize the products and services that they offer. But obviously there's some security things they need to be aware of and protecting themselves. What guidance would you offer for them?
Well, I think there's a lot of layers to that. I'll speak on behalf of obviously one and specific industry that we are seeing a lot of questions and concerns in regards to keeping themselves, their employees, secure and safe are restaurants, because obviously as we see those phase ins, phase one, phase two, and restaurants opening in regards to capacity, we've had questions on regards to how do we keep our employees safe and our patrons safe from the standpoint of the pandemic world, if you will. Okay, so that's where we're looking at the QR pay on the receipt that the customer can use. Obviously, too, not having, let's think in the restaurant world where you may have a lot of servers maybe hovered around one station to put in an order. So we're looking at alternative methods where they have their own handheld units that they could potentially put in orders, pay at the table, et cetera, where there's you don't want to disrupt obviously the experience that you may have. I enjoy going out to dinner, and I appreciate when someone the server brings the bill, but obviously that's the mind that and where we're shifting obviously is what does that look like. in regards to just overall security for businesses as a whole, I think we're going to see phases and steps as we have day in and day out as far as what do you need to do to keep your business secure. Obviously, with online payments, there's more risk for fraud. So you want to ensure, obviously, that you've got fraud filters in place, and that's where myself and our team, we walk you through the client through, obviously, those fraud filters, obviously, that they can ensure that they are getting a legitimate transaction to be able to process for goods, services, or even those virtual gift cards. Does that help?
Yeah, I think that's super helpful. So, Julie, as we kind of wrap up, what additional guidance, or as we would kind of summarize things, how would you guide people that are paying attention to this that might have a question about maybe how they currently process payments, or want to reach out to us about having us take a look at what they're doing?
So, to those that are watching and listening in regards to these virtual payments and how the payment world is shifting, I would encourage you to talk to your financial advisor, see what your needs are, what you're doing today, what you could change. And obviously, those financial advisors we work very closely with, and obviously, they would engage the merchant services team, and we can dive deep into what your needs are and work closely with you to get through the next phase and stage of this pandemic in the payments world.
Julie, I think that's great, and that sort of echoes what our theme has been through all of these webinars, which is it's about conversation and it's about relationships, and that's why we're putting these out there, is so that we can help our clients and people in the communities where we operate sort of understand what's going on right now, provide some information that we think can be helpful, but most importantly, it's having specific conversations about your specific individual situation. So thank you for spending some time with us today to talk about payment processing, and all the best to you as we continue to this ever-changing world in the pandemic.
Absolutely, Brian. Thanks so much for including us. Thanks.
We hope you all have a great day, and we'll be back again with another version of a webinar in the middle of a pandemic. Thanks so much.